Hey, welcome back to SGS. I'm Sarge, and I'm bringing music to the front lines to you guys today. And today we're doing Halsey and Suga from BTS. They're doing Lilith, the Diablo IV Anthem. It is 3 minutes in length. Okay, for those that don't know what Diablo is, it's a video game. And for those that don't know, also, I used to be a gaming only channel. So I can explain this just a little bit, and I'm gonna, just for those that don't understand the game itself, so that way when you go watch the video on your own, or what you can see through the filter that I'm trying out, by the way, hopefully it's a little better than it has been, you'll have a better idea of what's going on. So the humans in this game are trapped by well, they're not trapped, but they're on a like Earth, but it's called Sanctuary, and they're in a perpetual battle between good and evil, heaven and hell. But the difference between ours is, like, if you're religious, that would be a spiritual world out here, sort of type of thing, where the demons are actually coming out of the ground in their world. So that's kind of what's happening in here, and there are several different characters. What it is sort of like not quite a completely direct overhead view, but sort of a skewed angle that you're looking at. You create a character: Barbarian, Druid, you have a Necromancer, you have a Rogue, and you have a Sorcerer, I believe. I think that's the classes that are currently in the game anyway. Um, and you create that character, you make them look however you want them to look, etc. And then once you're ready, then you start the game, and you start off, and basically, you don't have the greatest of gear and whatever, and you basically build yourself up through this game by going through the story. And the story is basically, somehow Lilith has returned to Sanctuary. She's freed herself from hell, etc., and now she's on Earth, in the or well, Sanctuary in this case. And the idea that she's proposing basically is that she's saving mankind. They can do all this saving on their own, with her help, of course, from the holy war that is pending between heaven and hell. She can kind of shield them, per se, by, or rise up and destroy them all. I don't know exactly. I don't know the end game part of it, but like, that's the premise. Her and the humans together, versus, but at the same time, she's unleashing all sorts of craziness, and all sorts of evil is rising up and popping up and doing all this other things. And then, of course, the angels take notice, and there's going to be some kind of pending battle, I imagine. Again, I don't know. I haven't played that much through it yet. I'm only at the beginning, guys. But that's basically it. And so I'm assuming somehow, I mean, well, we've already got a church in this, so it's gonna turn into what I would guess is sort of like live images, kind of like voice play does, where they do a little cosplay, but maybe this got some CGI to it as well. Now, as far as the song, I have no idea what it's going to sound like, but I'm going to imagine it's going to be loosely related to the game, and not necessarily be much of a complete thing of substance, because it's more so like a promotion in a way. Hey, go play this game. But hey, look, we love that, because again, these are big names, huge names, by the way, that are showing props. And again, Blizzard and or Diablo isn't a small company either. It's probably the best ARPG out there, as far as that's concerned, or one of the longest standing ones as well. Anyway, I know you guys are like, ah, man, this is a long intro. Well, yeah, but I'm explaining this time. This is a little different than me just talking about life and whatever. Like, in order to understand the video, you got to understand what they're actually representing. And I realize a lot of you guys, while, there may be some gamers out there, and I hope there are, maybe most of you haven't played this, or you might have seen some commercials on TV, and now you'll recognize it for sure, and at least you'll know exactly what it is. It's a pretty brutal game. It's fun. It's very customizable. The story is always, top tier. I don't know what else to tell you, but with that being said, let's jump into the actual music video for this and see the Diablo IV Anthem, and see what we think. Hopefully we like it. And if we do, guys, with that being said, go over to Halsey and Suga's page from BTS and go over and show them some love. And if you like my reaction, do the same for me. All right, let's get into it.
The more that you have, the more that they take. Well, I'm perfection when it comes to indiscretion. I fuck around and just succumb to my aggression. I taste blood and it's turned to an obsession. Baby, I'm confessing, yeah. You got me thinking that I was too mean. Well, everything that I say, I believe. Tuck a knife with my heart up my sleeve and change like a season. Reason for nothing. I am disruptive. I've been corrupted. And by now I don't need a fucking introduction. I've been gone, 'cause I've been on this road too long. You know.
All right, so what we're seeing here, just so you guys know, she's kind of going through some of the different characters per se. One angle is that, you know, your character getting like being introduced into this like game world again, and like, you know, you're coming to battle. You got a lot ahead of you. The other one is sort of Lilith's return, because the humans summon her basically, and they ultimately somehow link you, the main character, in this ritual that they do, that ultimately brings Lilith back. But then you two, you and Lilith, are sort of tied throughout the game. It has a lot to do with rose petals, from what I understand. Something that they did in the ritual, I don't know if that's what you vomit out is the rose petals of blood, or if they force, which what I think they did is they force fed you rose petals along with soaked in her blood or something of that nature. You ingest it, and now you and her are linked through visions, etc. That's kind of what's going on. And at the same time, it's kind of showing these characters and different things to you know, that, like, sort of like, you know, this is what you're getting ready to go through, and like, you know, this is not your first time, because again, this is Diablo 4. And then Lilith is the old, you know, she was supposed to be the firstborn. So I mean, you can see where that's going. All right, again, I'm just trying to explain for those that don't know when it comes to the game. And again, if you know more about the game and can expand upon my thoughts or correct any little minor mistakes I might have made on that, by all means, you know, go crazy on this. But let's listen to the rest of the song, and then if I have anything else to say, I'll try to keep it at the end. But I did want to explain a little bit of what's happening here. Nice imagery. She's meeting another character, like Sorceress. There's werewolves and everything in this. Vampires. Bears.
We just fuck things up, yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I noticed. Hear me, yeah, I noticed. Step back of the moment, just been trapping you in all this negativity, pace and insanity. Don't dwell on the past, it's time to make a change. Look around, believe in what you see, I have returned to hell. I get too caught up in a moment. I can't call it love if I show it. I just fuck things up if you notice. Have you noticed? Tell me, have you noticed? I get too caught up in the moment. I can't fall in love cause I'm focused. I just fuck things up if you noticed. Have you noticed? Tell me, have you noticed? The more that you give away, the more that you have, the more that you give away, the more that you have, the more
A nice
that you
mural.
give away, the more that you have, the more that they.
Okay, so here I know that you may not be able to see it completely with the filter, but basically now the rose petals are raining down, and it's like again, it's kind of like twofold, sort of the characters coming to the moment, and coming out there to fight, whatever they got to do to, basically save the world, and, for you to be the hero kind of thing. And then at the same time, it's her return coming back, and you can see like the rose petals coming down. But both characters can relate to that because, again, she was fed the rose petals, and then at the same time, it's like the signal that, Lilith has either been there or is approaching, or there's getting ready to be some sort of like flashback or something in the story where that comes about. I like this, man. This is very much like, sort of like voice play, except for this has got like more CGI to it, bigger, maybe possibly a bigger budget is what I'm guessing. But even then, I mean, they still do a fantastic job. Vocally, they're top tier. Cosplay is pretty good considering, but like this is CGI on top of it. And like, it's kind of hard to compete with that unless you're doing that yourself. I like it. I like it. And the more you have, the more they take. I think the reason that they say that is because as that little character, you are the person, like everybody expects you to do everything. You do every task in the game. You're looking around thinking, is there nobody else can do anything else in this game but me? But that's also kind of how you level up and learn more lore, et cetera, et cetera. But that's kind of it. And then on the other side of that is Lilith, where it's like she was the firstborn, they and cast out and all these other things, and it's like she's gonna be the savior. She's returning to be the savior, and like everybody's asking so much of her, whether it's the demons from hell or the angels from heaven, or the humans or whatever. I think she feels, because she's probably, well, I mean, let's be real, she's connected to all of those in one way or the other, at least in the game. And so, she feels like she's being pulled, I think. I don't know. We got about 15 more seconds to see what they do. Oh, nothing, just images. And her kind of, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Her kind of, at the end, what you may have not seen, and again, I always encourage you guys, go over and see the original. But it's kind of like she's transformed into Lilith, even though she was like a warrior or whatever at the time. And that's kind of it, because you're intertwined the entire time with Lilith during the game. Anyway, I know this has been a little bit more lengthy as far as me talking, but I hope it's helped you, and I hope you understand that I'm really just trying to explain the game to you so that way you can understand the video better and like what the references are and how that's going. And yeah, I'm sure they took a lot of that from sort of, at least parts of it biblically, etc. They probably took a lot of things from the Bible and things like that, and incorporated it into their story. But it's a completely different thing. It's not. It doesn't necessarily follow per se. Any of that stuff. It's got its own right to it, but it's super enjoyable, man. I love it, and like I like this. I thought this is pretty good, man. This is the first time I've seen this, obviously, but like Diablo have any kind of like music video to it, so I thought that was cool. Anyway, I'll get off here. Hey, it's hump day. I hope you guys know that you're halfway through your weekend by this, or your week at this point, almost on your way to weekend. If you're not working, I hope you're out there doing something fun. Hope you had a good lunch, and if you are, I hope you're having a good lunch and that your workday is going really well and quick. And I will see you tomorrow with more music reactions. In the meantime, go over and show Halsey and Suga some love. And if you like my reaction, do the same for me. Eat well. Be safe. I've been Sarge. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.